So what I'll talk in this video is that the types of data science job description that you will come across, and then by that you can evaluate yourself that whether you are suitable for a particular job or not. So I've taken a few of these job descriptions from one of the popular job site. So let's discuss like the types of job description that there at a pretty broad level. Okay, so the first one is a research role. Okay, so this is a data science job position, but it requires somebody to do more fundamental research rather than simply building models without getting into details of theory. So in such a role, they are expecting you to be an expert of machine learning, deep learning, and statistical analysis. And when they say that you should be comfortable with these models or these areas of modeling, you should be comfortable at a very theoretical level, not just applying these models. Okay, so among other things, what they require you to know is that you should be comfortable with any of these languages: Python, R, Octave, C++, Java. One should have masters or PhD in any of this quantitative field: computer science, mathematics, engineering, and so on. One should have experience with building models using collaborative filtering, clustering, classification, segmentation, and so on. And some of the desirable skills, apart from what is essential skills, are like paper presentation, publications. Given that this is a research role, if you have a couple of publications and you have presented in few conferences, that adds a lot of value. And they also require you to not just know the statistical and machine learning model. They also expect you to know the deep learning models such as CNN, RNN, and so on. The second job description is more to do with business rather than the R&D. The first one was a role in the R&D department of a tech company, but the second one, this is the job description for data science role to understand the different kinds of customer data available with an e-commerce company. So what it requires you to know is that you should be more interested to understanding data and providing business insight. Okay. In the first role, you are supposed to build system using machine learning, but here you will not be directly building system. Rather, you will analyze data and then provide insight to your development team, who will ensure that the product is suitable according to the knowledge or the insight that you're getting from the data. Okay, so what they want you to know is that you should be very comfortable with data analysis tools, which is of course one of the mandatory thing. Apart from that, you should be have keen desire to solve problems, to find patterns and insight from the structured and unstructured data. So this is where you will this is more of a strategy role, where you analyze data to get pattern and insight. You do not quite build a machine learning model which will automate some task. Rather, you are finding out pattern out of data. Okay, so machine learning or statistic can be both used for different purposes. It can be used for prediction, it can be used for insight. Now this is a role that is more related to finding out insight out of your data. Okay, the qualification that's required is slightly more flexible than the first one. If you are good with machine learning, computer science, statistic background, that's also fine. Other than that, if you have a degree in liberal arts, or a master's in management, finance, economics, then also you're suitable for such positions, because this is less engineering, more or less software development, more business analysis, so to say. The skills they want in you, apart from what I have already explained, is that you should be comfortable with Python, Scala, and so on. You should have built model using scikit-learn, using Spark, and such. And you should have some comfortability with the big data architecture. Yeah, the last thing is that you should be comfortable with hypothesis testing, confidence interval, and A/B tests. Okay, so if it is a role more into engineering, you will less likely to use something like hypothesis testing or A/B testing. But if it's more into business analysis, a data science role related to business analysis, then you are supposed to know what is hypothesis testing, what is inferential statistics, what is A/B testing, and so on. Okay, because that's where you will try to get insight by doing A/B testing. That is, which one is better than what. I mean, you will try to compare different strategy, different decisions, and see which one is likely to do better. The next job description we'll talk about is a role in IT automations in many of these IT departments. So this is a job posting by a bank, by UK based bank, which wants a data scientist will work with the IT team of its IT department, with its IT department, and then you will find areas where you can automate many tasks. Okay, so there, this is more of an engineering role where you will be working with the IT professional. This is not like the first role where it was more into R&D, where you will, define your own problem, come up with the data. You will have time to find out a solution. This is not that kind of a role where you have to do research, pure research, but this is a role where there are existing problems and you will just ensure that how you can automate these problems, automate this solving these problems using data science techniques. You will be required to have heavy tech background. If you are coming from a developer background, you are very suitable for such roles. So people who have years of development experience in any of these programming languages or any of these platforms, so they would be very suitable for such things. So people who have length of experience in software development, they will find this very much appealing to them, because if they know a bit of machine learning or any of this machine learning platform is where they are comfortable with, they will find this very suitable for them. So you will require to have experience in big data tools, general purpose programming languages, machine learning techniques, and so on. And as expected, this is an IT role, so they will expect you to know what Agile and Scrum is, what is rapid prototyping, what is cloud, and how you use cloud to develop and implement your packages and all. So yeah, the next one is with a consulting firm. Okay, so in consulting firms, you do not actually work for one client, you work for many clients. So the consulting firm will not expect you to know one particular area in depth. Rather, it will expect you to know something about everything. Okay, everything in data science. Okay, so that they can use you in many areas. If they have work in machine learning, they will use you there. If they have work on anything on implementing any of these big data tools, they should be able to use you there. So here they are looking out for generalists with many skills in data science rather than specialists. Okay, so in such companies, you will have the job description is something that might scare you, because they will specify every bit of skills. So you do not worry that you are not comfortable with all the skills. If you know 60-70% of the skills mentioned in this job descriptions, then they will shortlist you and give you a chance for interview. As you can see, they have mentioned everything in the last 3 job description. They have summarized and they have mentioned everything, right? All the tools, techniques, and everything you're expected to know. But that's not what they're looking for. It's just that they're looking for people who know at least 50-60% of these areas. Okay, if you're not comfortable with other areas, that's fine. And they do not expect you to be an expert, but they will expect you to know quite a lot about the different areas. There's some transferable skills, as you can see in the last 4 job descriptions. The first one is your knowledge on statistics and mathematics. No matter which role you're going in for or what type of career you're trying to pursue in future in data science, you will need maths and statistics in all kinds of roles, and also in all kinds of interviews that you will be appearing. Machine learning and deep learning, this is also quite important. In fact, this is the heart of data science. So statistical analysis, machine learning, and deep learning more recently are becoming the most important areas. Even if you're more into a tech driven data science role where you are working on Hadoop and such systems, you're still supposed to know what the uses of machine learning models are. You cannot build models without any of these softwares, programming languages such as Python, R. So most people use Python and R. I do not think there are other tools like MATLAB, SAS are used. Some companies do use, but most companies use Python and R. For data handling, SQL is no doubt important, but you should also have experience using SQL in any of these NoSQL platforms. Okay, and then having experience in big data tools. Okay, that's also important in some areas of data science. So these are, if these skills are transferable skills, that mean you can transfer your skills from one area of data science to other areas, and they will be very useful. Thank you.